Okay, class, remember that we are in the great vehicle, and then in great vehicle, we got the 6 pyramid. We already finished the pyramid of number 1, I mean the dana pyramid, okay, then the precept pyramid, diligence pyramid, and also vigorous diligence pyramid, okay, and then the samadhi pyramid. Now we are in the last one, is the prajna pyramid. So class, in the previous lesson we talked about double truth. Do you remember double truth? So one is the conventional truth, one is the ultimate truth. Okay, what is the conventional truth? Conventional truth meaning to say that's the truth which you can see, which you can feel, okay, without the deep samadhi. So we from here we see, okay, we name you Mr. Leong, Mrs. Leong. Then this is the conventional truth, all right, okay. Then we see they got 4 seasons externally, all right. And then we can see we name people, we will old, we will be aging, we will die. All is a conventional truth. But once we talk about the ultimate truth, we need to say that you have to analyze our mentality and materiality to the finest part. So at that one is when we go to the finest part, the smallest particle part. From there, what we see is considered ultimate truth. Okay, in Abhidhamma ultimate truth, there is nama, rupa. Okay, one more nama, rupa. Then inside the nama, okay, we segregate as the mind and the mental factor. And then the rupa, last one is the nibbana. So they are all ultimate truth. Okay, so now we go further regards this double truth. Okay, and one thing, I want to remind you all, erti means double truth. Next time people ask you what is the meaning of erti, please explain properly. Erti means double truth really is the conventional truth and ultimate truth. Okay, I get the idea actually is from great vehicle, because every time I explain this, I feel excited. I don't know why, excited due to the profound of the Dharma, I feel happy, Oh, wow, I will feel excited, even though I repeat many times, Mrs. Leong, you are totally agree, am I right? Okay, so we keep on now. Let's take a look. Okay, so these are 2 words. It's a conventional truth and the ultimate truth. Then this is the true truth. One is in the ordinary world truth. One is the extraordinary truth. Okay. Then okay, just now I mentioned already. Ordinary truth includes all the woods, rocks, atom, electron. All right, which is what I mean. Everyone knows this by using the divine eye. Okay. The 3 realm, the 6 transmigratory states, the 5 aggregate, and 6 sense organ, all are considered ordinary truth. All right. So next paragraph. Yeah. Okay, Sally, your turn to read, please.
All along, sentient beings have been in the mental condition of ordinary truth. This condition is real, unquestionable, and unavoidable. It is real and generally acknowledged, but is it the ultimate truth? Not necessarily. Things believed to be true in the past have been found not to be true. For example, the atom was once thought to be indivisible and impenetrable, but now is considered to be a cluster of electrons. Similarly, colors green, yellow, etc. are now recognized as consisting of different wavelengths of light. In his perfect enlightenment, the Buddha knew that those realities of the world that are experienced by sentient beings are insubstantial and unreal, which is why they are called ordinary. They arise due to causes and conditions. One of them, no Dharma has real existence. Knowledge that everyone assumes to be real is unable to realize the truth of the world. On the contrary, the shortcomings of such knowledge reveal that everyone has barriers of ignorance. Only by eliminating this confused error, going beyond the views of common sense knowledge, can one clearly see the truth of the world. This understanding is shared by all Buddha Dharma. The practice of Buddha Dharma is therefore to discover, based on right contemplation of the real world conventional truth, and the errors and unreality of the common sense knowledge, to eliminate that all faulty and reveal that which is true, thereby to advance further and realize the ultimate truth of the world. Ultimate truth is extraordinary truth, a state of special experience that is recognized by all sages. The practice of prajna reaches this condition, leaving behind illusion. One sees the truth. Beginning with conventional truth, one attains ultimate truth. Starting out as an ordinary person, one becomes a sage. One should.
Okay, so stop now. Practically, have you ever skeptical that the world you experience, which is not real, or which is an illusion before you learn the Dharma? Have you ever skeptical about it before? Mr. Leung?
Yes, like a mirage in the desert.
No, I mean before learning the Buddhism, have you ever skeptical about that the world you've been is an illusion before learning the Dharma?
Not really.
Not really, right? Because everything's so true, right? The first time you get the salary, okay, you go to buy something, or you go for traveling, you graduated, or and get the certificate. Everything looks so real. You see? So you see, we never skeptical about it. But Dharma said that whatever we experience are always conventional truth. Just the sage will know that this is not the truth. That's why once we start to chant the sutra, or like Diamond Sutra or Heart Sutra or Prajna, they mentioned, oh, it seems that the world is quite different from us. The reason is because in the Diamond Sutra and also the Prajna Sutra, all are the experience of the sages. So we will feel that, how come it's so different? This is how once we start to read the sutra, we understand that we are in the illusion. In order from the illusion go to the go to the ultimate truth, we have to begin with the Dharma learning in the first place. You have to believe and accept that you are in the illusion in the first place. But I think once we are in the, if we are dreaming, is it possible we expect we suspect that we are in the dreaming? Possible? Elena, have you ever experienced that? You were in the dreaming, but you're skeptical that I thought maybe I'm a dreaming. Possible? Have you ever had this experience? Really? If that's the case, if you are hungry during the dreaming, will you really go to eat or not? Or you think, no, now this is a dream. I don't want to eat. It is a dream. Possible?
No, I will go and eat.
So we need to say that. You need to say that you never skeptical the dream itself is a dream, right? Possible? Possible?
No, it's like so weird when you're dreaming, your subconscious mind, you don't even know you're actually dreaming, so you just go along with it.
Yeah, that's why so we need to say that it is quite hard. But if let's say I go into your dream, then I tell you that you are in the dreaming. Will you accept or not?
I get a bad dream.
Okay, I think that this is a sign. This is how the screenplay they write it down in all the recent movie But I think it's quite true that we need to say that if people come in our dream and tell us that you are in the dreaming, I think we won't believe. Am I right? It's just same here now. We feel everything is so real, but some people are. But of course, I think we will believe what Buddha says because we are a little bit different, right? Not are we a little bit different? So now we work hard. Want to wake up. Okay, so we through the meditation, in order we are able to wake up, So this is what all the sentence mentioned here. You see, Buddha knew that those reality of the world are experienced by sentient being, okay, which is unreal. You see, okay. Then next, let's take a look. See, you see the shortcoming of such knowledge reveals that everyone has a barrier of ignorance. Yes, according to the Dharma, we are all in the ignorance now, so we are in the conventional truth. We can wake up and go into the ultimate truth only eradication of the wrong will. We call it as ignorance. Next. Okay, ultimate truth is extraordinary truth, a state of a spatial experience that is recognized by all the sages. So the one who practiced the prajna, the conclusion that living behind illusion, one sees the truth. So you see, as long as we talk about the words prajna, we need to say that prajna, we need to say that you must be wake up already. Once we come across the words of the prajna. Okay, next paragraph. Elena, your turn. One should not
by any means imagine that ultimate truth is something apart from the real world. The Buddha's teaching of the two truth points to the fact that beyond the reality recognized by the world lies a truth that all sages have realized. But this truth is reality. It does not exist apart from the real world. It follows that without relying on conventional truth, ultimate truth, which reveals the nature of things through phenomena, cannot be attained. One needs to practice in this way because we sentient beings, we humans, cannot thoroughly understand the true appearance of the world. We cannot be in harmony with ultimate truth. All our thoughts, actions, and speech, all our confusion and suffering, in individuals, families, societies, or countries, are irrational phenomena that do not accord with ultimate truth. The continual transmigration of individuals through birth and death, suffering continuing from the past life to the present, and from the present life to the future, results from not being in accord with ultimate truth. because of ignorance, erroneous view, confusion, and distortions. Thus, the Buddha expounded the two truths in order to teach people to practice reliance on conventional principles to attain the real prajna. After attaining prajna, one can rely on one's experience of ultimate truth to clear up ignorance and erroneous views. Then one can be liberated and advance towards Buddhahood.
Okay, never mind, stop here. Okay, before we further to the next paragraph. Okay, class, according to the text, we need to say that we should wake up, right? If we are not wake up, we're in a dreaming, we need to say that we're in the illusion. Okay, where can we find the state of wake up? Where is it to find? Sally, where can you find the state of wake up?
During meditation.
Okay. So we talk about the conventional truth and ultimate truth. Okay, what is the relationship between the conventional truth and ultimate truth? Elena? Mr. Leong? Are they related? Conventional truth and ultimate truth? They are frozen already. Mr. Leong, please off your mic.
You realize it?
Mr. Leong, you please off your camera. Off your camera, please.
Off.
Okay. Yes, please answer again. Yes.
For the ultimate truth, if one uses one's wisdom to see things as really is, then there is ultimate truth. And this conventional truth is just the materialistic world that we live in, which we think that it is real. But actually it is not real, it's an illusion.
Okay, so where is the ultimate truth? Where is the location of the ultimate truth?
The ultimate truth is actually lies within our wisdom.
Yes, correct. It also lies on the conventional truth. That's correct. Applause. Yes. Okay. There's one good analogy because sometimes people once we always think about the ultimate truth. I mean, we may thought the ultimate truth is somewhere, but actually it's not somewhere. It's just like in order to get the oil from the sesame, you see, you want to get the sesame oil, you don't go get the oil outside from the sesame. You just cold press the sesame, then you're able to get the oil. Ultimate truth, you're able to attain it just from the conventional truth itself. Okay, get it? So Elena, you should eat more sesame oil. Okay, so next, you can remember very well with this analogy. Okay, so from here you see this, the sentence is the same. We mentioned a bit, it's about the same. See, so we experience the ultimate through the clear of ignorance and erroneous view. Okay, next paragraph. Okay, again, Sally, you read please. Everything.
Everything that is conventionally established in the world can be recognized by nature and speech. Consciousness, name, perceptions, and things are conventional. But conventionally, true and false should be skillfully differentiated. Common sense knowledge seems so real that it conceals the truth. If one understands that ordinary knowledge is established through conventions that is conventionally designed, one has the possibility of understanding reality. Conventionally designed does not mean that the consciousness is factious, nor does it refer to a simple confusion like calling a melon a god. It means that it is formed in reliance of causes, conditions, and factors. What is recognized is not real essence, but a conventional one. Because it relies on causes and conditions to become this or that, it is said to be established. The conventionally designed, the conventionally designated includes everything in our common sense knowledge. The mind, specifically name and speech consciousness, perceives things. When an image or concept appears in our mind, we differentiate between this and that. Since this differentiation is similar to the way that language gives names to objects, it is called perception through name and speech. Ordinary conation works this way. Adults, for example, are good with names and speech. They are able to recognize distinctions and speak clearly. Babies and animals also have conation. As long as the six consciousness function, the conation is not as clear as that of adult humans, but they can still sense that something is. Though they may be unable to say anything, they nevertheless can know that something is. Of course, they know what is limited and often mistaken. The consciousness of our sense organs, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind consciousness, all coordinates within this matter. All such connection comes from habitual mental state. One accepts the way the world is, just as it is. On the basis of such worldly connection, it does not seek the truth or fundamental knowledge. All the knowledge of the world is developed. If everything is analyzed according to ultimate truth, however, the customary knowledge of the world cannot be established.
Okay, thank you so much. do all of you realize that now it seems, the Dharma itself is very philosophical, because according to Dharma, it says the world we are living in, we are living in the world which is conventionally designed by ourselves. You see, we recognize the thing. You see, this is the scissors, okay, this is the pen, okay, so we label them. This is the scissors, okay. The yellow color, this is the green color scissors, okay. This is the blue pen. You see, we label it, okay. So it seems that anything we see tangible, we label them, okay. Then besides, we have different emotion also. We also label them. When we mix up the whole thing, it becomes our whole world. Agree? It seems that how we shape our world, it depends on how is our, how does we label everything, you see? It's the same, from the tangible things, it comes from, it's come from perception, okay? And then same, if about our thinking, not every day, okay, we watch the Facebook, okay, we watch the WhatsApp, okay, Facebook, WhatsApp themselves also shaping our perception, okay. Why? Because everything is in the language. So the whole concepts, it come from the sentence, and the sentence come from every different words. We need to say that the word we shape is by our perception. But perception added with some more feeling, then this is our word. Okay. So you see, this is quite philosophical, you see. But what we mentioned here is still considered conventional word. So meaning to say that we ourselves create our own conventional word. How good the conventional word is it? It depends on really your your prior experience. Okay. If you have a quite bad childhood, then you will shape the future in a more pessimistic way. Okay, like just I commented, both of you are hopeless. Meaning to say that, you see, this pandemic, they try to shape your perception and make both of you hopeless. Am I right? Because for some people, they are so eager to eat this, eat roti canai, eat bak kut teh, many things. So meaning to say that this is the world they try to shape, of course, with the help of the surrounding and also with their own prior knowledge and character to shape their world. All this we still consider it as a conventional truth. Okay. So now we go further. What does it mean as ultimate truth? Maybe not yet. Mr. Leong, would you like to try to read the consciousness, please?
The consciousness of our sense organs, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind consciousness, all cognized in this manner. All such cognition come habitual states. One accepts the way the world is, just as it is. On the basis of such worldly cognition, which does not seek the truth or fundamental knowledge, all the knowledge of the world is developed. If everything is analyzed according to ultimate truth, however, the customary knowledge of the world cannot be established. That which is conventionally established may be easy to understand or not so easy, and it can be divided into three groups: conventional destination, conventional perception, and conventional things. Conventional destination is easy to understand. For example, some people think that thinking or talking about a person is identical to the person in question, so that the name and the person, the word and its referent same. They do not know that it's only through convention that a word corresponds to a meaning. If one does not think of someone as a person, that person remains what he or she is and does not appear just for that. So it can be seen that the name and its meaning may not necessarily correspond. Knowing this, one can break up the stubbornness of thinking of the name as reality. false perception was translated as conventional grasping by Master Shenzang. For example, when people recognize a person, a house, or some other compounded thing, they always think of it as being real, although not necessarily with a definite name. They do not know that person, house, etc. are conventional establishments. For example, in ordinary language, a person is formed by the aggregation of 4 limbs, 100 bones, 11 internal organs, and so forth. A house is formed by the union of wood, stones, earth, metal, and labor. All these things are analyzed, then apart from their components, there are no real entities corresponding to them. They are only perceived as such. Why is this called conventional perception? It is because such a perception is a combined form established from a collection of various causes and conditions. Knowing this, one can eradicate the obstinate attachment that treats a compounded thing as if it is not normal. This is analogous to the previous understanding of the atom, which took it to be a real entity.
Thank you so much. The sound is breaking, right, Sally? The sound is breaking, huh? Okay, but it is nice to hear, like, even though
Frozen.
No, your sound is breaking, but it's still very nice to hear the breaking sound. We like that.
Yeah, it's breaking over here. The breaking sound.
Okay, you see, now we are still in the conventional truth. Okay, but how do we realize that? Basically, this is the conventional truth, but it's not ultimate truth. For example, you see how Mr. Leong. Okay. So Sally, you see, here I see Mr. Leong and also Sally and also Mrs. Leong, 3 people. Okay, so 3 of them are born with 4 eyes, right? With the glass one. So 3 of them are with 4 eyes. Elena, why are we confused 3 of them, even though they are all possess 4 eyes? Why? Elena, why?
They each have their own names to differentiate themselves.
Yeah, they get their own name, right? And also, even though we all same with 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 tongue, even though they are with the human features the same, but there's still some difference, so you're able to see the difference, right? Okay. So what happened if, let's say, I try to decompose Sally, Mr. Leong, Mrs. Leong, become hair. I try to decompose the whole body, so the hair, the skin, the interior organ. Can you see Sally, Mr. Leong, Mrs. Leong anymore? If I decompose 3 of them, you don't see, right? So meaning to say that when I try to decompose 3 of them, the perception of the Sally no more, Mr. Leong, Mrs. Leong no more, they no more exist. So meaning to say that, of course, this is conventional truth, right? Because if it is ultimate truth, it wouldn't be destroyed in this way, right? Number 1. Okay, second, okay, here meaning to say once I try to decompose 3 of them, so we will see that there is the piling of the hair, nose, okay, interior organ, okay, but we can still see with all this type of interior organ and the part of the body here, but okay, but are you still able to even though we don't see Sally, Mr. Leong, Mrs. Leong, but are you able to differentiate which part is the hair, which part is the liver, which part is the big intestine? Are you still able to differentiate it, Elena? Yes, right. Are you able to differentiate? But if, let's say, I analyze it further to the atom and the molecule, I try to analyze it to the finest parts. So, Elena, are you able to see which one is the big intestine, hair? No more, right? So, meaning to say that even the hair, the liver, all the interior organ itself, this is still the second layer of the conventional truth. So once I go to the deeper, once I analyze, go to the deepest, go to the finest parts, all this also disappear. So you see or not? Meaning to say that, according to Abhidhamma, what is the real truth? Actually, the real truth is once you analyze the thing to the smallest particle, no matter nama or rupa, that is the ultimate truth. And from the ultimate truth, with the composition, with the combination with all the ultimate truth, and it become the conventional truth. See or not? With all the particle itself, the small particle itself, it forms the hair, the eye, the interior organ, everything. Okay, but with the different organ, then I'm able to compose. Okay, to make the Sally, Mr. Leong, Mrs. Leong. So you see, that is the meaning we said that we can disclose, the review, the ultimate truth from the conventional truth. Get it, Miss Sally? Elena? That is the meaning. So let's take a look. See. You see, from here we mentioned from the sentence we read. You see, this is how we cognize the word in the manner. Meaning to say that we accept the word we create by ourselves. So just now I put an example, we will label all the tangible subject, we will label our feeling, we will label many things, okay, and then from here we start to form our word. You see now. So meaning to say that even though you see okay, so Sally, you see the Caesar, right? Okay, how do you feel with this Caesar? Do you feel it's a beautiful, or do you feel it's nothing, or do you feel something?
Nothing.
Nothing for you. It's just normal only. Okay.
Yes.
Elena, is there any significance for you from these scissors?
Green color scissors.
Okay. Do you have any, how to say, do you have any memory regards the green color scissors or not? Nothing. Okay. So how about Mrs. Leong? 这个剪刀对你来讲有什么意义吗 ？Mrs. Leong 哈，
它可以用
它可以用，
来解东西。
它有带给你快乐的回忆吗？
没有。
没有。Oh, sorry, I'm so scary for this scissor because during my childhood I have been cut by the scissor. So meaning to say that, what does that mean? This is one scissor. For three of you is a neutral, but for me, the meaning behind the scissors, including scary, frightening phobia. You see or not? So this is how we shape our world. See or not? From this small example, you see. So meaning to say that for everybody we have a different way to interpret a tangible object, or even like durian. The way I see, okay, maybe some people like the durian, some will hate the durian. It must have something to do with your childhood, or maybe until to the past life. So this is how we shape our world. Okay. So this is the meaning here. Okay, we got three types of conventional. One is a conventional destination, one is a conventional perception, one is the conventional things. You see, conventional destination is easy to understand. Yes, we will try to, as I mentioned just now, we have to conventionalize the word in order for communication. Okay, it's not difficult. But one thing, if let's say, you see, how do we conventional the word? I'm using the language, right? I'm using the language, okay. But if let's say we are all dumb, then how do we communicate? We don't have language. How do we communicate? Sign language, right? So meaning to say that we'll try to conventionalize our sign language so that I can communicate to you. It is correct. But if let's say we are all dumb and also we are also blind, so how? Elena, then how?
Braille. The blind people use Braille language.
Braille language, meaning to say by touching, right? Am I right? Yeah, touching. And the dumb people also, deaf people also like use the touching. So meaning to say that they conceptualize the word by using the touching itself. See or not? As long as we still have the channel to conceptualize the word, and the conceptualization, we standardize the conceptualization, it can form the language, and there is the word itself. See or not? So this is how we form our word, even though the dumb people. Okay, so now this is the problem. It is possible that I'm using the sign language, or I try to use the touching to teach the deaf or the dumb or the blind people how to do the meditation, the Western Pure Land. It is possible. Karma, cause and effect. Are we able to teach them this? You still have to think, right? Okay, the answer is, I think it's very hard. Why? Because according to Shakyamuni, there's 8 category. They are very hard to learn the Dharma. So they are these 2 groups. Because I found that it's very hard to conceptualize, to teach people that, oh, you please go to observe your breath, and the breath in, the breath out. Then the nimitta appear quite hard. Quite hard. I mean, quite hard. We will talk about cause and effect. You see, I really don't know. If we talk about prajna paramita, I don't know if you're using the touching to let them understand the information. I don't know how well they understand. Even though you and I we can hear properly, we see all the language, the text, but I don't think I can fully understand And you can fully understand also, even though I talk, I talk excitingly, but the way I see, I don't need to fully understand, you see. You get what I mean? It's not easy, even with the language, you see, with the eye contact, with the language, okay, we are using all the organs to convey the Dharma, even not 100%. I mean, what if for a dumb and a deaf people? Correct or not? So that's why Buddha categorized them as what we call it. We have one word in the Dharma. Difficulty, I think. I think we call it as difficulties. Or we call it as an obstacle. So there are those who very hard to learn the Dharma. Yeah, atakana. Eight misfortune class. We call it as the eight misfortune. So atakana, please write down. Atakana mean eight misfortune, meaning to say that dumb and also the blind, they are considered atakana, eight misfortune. They are unable to learn the Dharma. Atakana. Okay, eight misfortune. I remember we've gone through this word before, right? Sally, am I right? We have gone through these words before, right? Sally, right?
Cannot remember, Sifu.
Oh, you do remember, because so many things you do remember. Yeah, atakana. So that's why what you guess is correct. It's quite hard for them to learn the Dharma. Okay. So you see, false perception was translated as conventional grasping by Master Shendra. Conventional grasping. It means what? They always think of it as being real, although not necessarily with a definite name. You see. So as what I say, here I say, well, this is what? This is the scissor. Okay, but if I try to segregate it, I take it out this part, I take out the screw, scissors no more. Just I mentioned, I decompose Sally, then you don't see Sally anymore, you see. But anyway, but we never skeptical that this is, I mean, we never skeptical that Sally is not the real one, am I right? We always think that Sally is true. You see, Sally, you never skeptical and never think that your cousin is the conceptional truth. That's why once you always deem it as the ultimate truth, you'll be in suffering if something change over him. See or not? This is where the cause of our suffering, you see, because everything we deem they are true, meaning to set behind the things bring joys to us, but at the same time we doesn't want it to change and we doesn't want to lose it. That is the problem. So next time if really we feel very we feel very sad due to the loss of something very precious we analyze the thing in this way it can help us maybe can just recover sooner, I think. So this is all, everything has come from the wrong view. So the wrong view itself, we will thought that everything is true, then this is where our all trouble and suffering come out. Okay, so the next, let's take a look. Such a perception is a compiled for established from a collection of the various cause and condition. Okay, let's check out. Oh, there are so many paragraphs. Okay, 2 more paragraphs. Okay, whose turn? I think maybe let's Elena to read. The conventional things read first.
A conventional thing refers to the smallest entity which, after being analyzed, does not lose its inherent nature. Such a thing is the fundamental factor of life and the universe. For example, as far as is currently known, these things are electrons, but these are also conventionally established because they are still changeable. In real time and space, that which can become a fundamental factor like the electron must be determined by relationships. Without causes and conditions, it cannot exist. So it too is conventionally established. The unreal existence of monads is the last stronghold of sentient beings' attachment to the things as if they were real, and it is the most difficult unreal attachment to eradicate. The right contemplation of prajna relies on prajna to first destroy prajnapati, conventional designation, then the prajnati, perception, and then the prajnati thing in order to reach reality. These 3 conventional aspects should be skillfully studied. One should not think that just because they are all conventionally established, that no differentiation is necessary. That which is ordinary and conventionally established in the world can be divided into 2 categories of the truth and the false, which should also be skillfully differentiated. For example, acts such as meeting people, talking, and walking belong to the first category. But when these same activities happen in a dream, they belong to the second. Personal activities during the day are facts in real time and space. They can be confirmed by others as real. This acknowledgement of them as real within the ordinary dharma of the world is called the ordinary truth of the world.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, class, actually all this is referring to these things. Now we go back to 3 important terminology. Let's take a look. Okay. Conventional destination, conventional perception, and also conventional thing. 明假、受假、法假、明假、受假、法假. These 3 things actually. Okay, let's take a look. Why this paragraph still mentioned this? Say, you see a convention. Okay, you see when this thing analyzed, then apart from a component, there are no real entity correspondent to that. Okay. Let's see how we are in here. You see, a conventional thing refers to the smallest entity, which, after being analyzed, doesn't lose its inherent nature. See or not? So, meaning to say that we call it as a conventional because after we analyze to the smallest part, they don't lose their nature. See? So, okay, but even though the electron is still conventionally established because it's still changeable, according to the Dharma we said, even though electron is still changeable. Okay, and it is, okay, class, basically here we are talking about the Mahayana, which is from the Madhyamaka. This is a little bit different with the Abhidhamma. For Abhidhamma, when we analyze, go to the smallest part of the thing, this is considered the truth. This is from Abhidhamma. But for the Madhyamaka, Mahayana, according to them, they say, even though this itself also is not true. So, meaning to say that the definition of the truth is different from the different school, even though within the Buddhism. Okay, so that is the meaning, that is the difference between the schools, you see. You see, and it is the most difficult unreal attachment to eradicate. The right contemplation of prajna relies on the prajna to first destroy the conventional destination, you see. So the conventional destination is just like what I mentioned, Sally, Mr. Leong, Mrs. Leong, this is recorded as a conventional destination. Okay, then the prajna perceptions, you see, then is the prajna perception. Prajna perception meaning to say that I try to decompose Sally, Mr. Leong, Mrs. Leong. Okay, then once I go through this, here the perception, the prajnati things, you see or not? Then the prajnati things is means what? It means the finest particle from your body that we call it as a perception. A prajnati things. Here you see or not? Now, prajnati thing. Okay, so this is a small particle. Conventional destination is the name, you see. The prajnati perception is the combination like our bone, our interior organ, all this we call it as a prajnati perception. Okay, so as long as you remember that the example I try to destroy or try to analyze Mr. Leong, Mrs. Leong, then you understand this is a tree perception. No, this is a tree of the conventional. You have to go through one by one. Usually we begin, we destroy the name first. We destroy the name by using this conventional destination. Is their name. Okay, so prajnati perception is the combination of the body. All right, and finally, this is the molecule and the atom. Okay, then you see this knowledge of them as real within the ordinary dharma of the world is called the ordinary truth of the world. Okay, okay, class. We stop here.